When you're preparing for a zombie invasion like I am today, you need a drink that's full of sugar. You need energy. And you need to feel like a man. Which is why I drink, and only drink, the zombie survival can. Because it's fucking tasty. Oh, hello everyone. Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry about the zombies outside. They're bloody driving me mad. I've been trying to board up the house all day and it's just me and my zombie survival can, I'm afraid, in the torture chamber today. I thought I'd take a break and just show you what the postman braved, well, recently, or some of the stuff I've got a little while ago and I've not just showed yet. But the postman's literally just knocked at my door. He managed to part the waves of zombies and actually I think he's dead now. But before he died, he managed to give me this. It's only come out a bloody week early. This is All Tomorrow's Funerals by Autopsy. Now I pre-ordered this from Burning Shed and it's just arrived now on vinyl. So this is a collection really of some new tracks. The Tomb Within EP, Horrific Obsession 7-inch, the Malta Death Flexi, Retribution for the Dead, Fiend for Blood. This is what it looks like inside. So I've literally just opened it. I've not spun it yet, but it's going to kick serious shades of Shinola. So I'll be listening to that in just a second, and I'll be putting that in a lovely gatefold sleeve too. So I'm so excited that that came so early because I did pre-order that about 3 weeks ago, but it's not due to be released until the 20th. And it's what is it today? It's what, the 16th, so 4 days early. So Burning Shed, you look after the people, you really do. Other things I want to show you today is this. This is Amon, Feasting the Beast by Dearside, released as a stopgap between Legion and Once Upon the Cross. This is a collection of their demos, which was issued under the name of Amon, when that was Dearside's first name. That's the back. Now this is a lot rawer than the Scott Burns produced debut album. Guitar's a lot heavier, and Glenn Benton's vocals are a lot gruffer. On the debut album he had like a combination between a banshee shriek and a sort of demon's bellow, but this is very gruff, you know, it's very, very raw sounding. It's a collection basically of songs which are off their first album, so Carnage in the Temple of the Damned, Sacrificial Suicide, Crucifixation, Blaspherion, so on and so forth. It's definitely worth listening to though, because the songs do sound in a very different format to the way they were meant to be released on the debut album. So get this into your collection. It's a standard black vinyl, no inner sleeve at all on that, but well worth picking up. You don't often see this one, but this is Accidental Suicide from America, Milwaukee. This is their Deceased album. Really hard to find this one. And it's a really bloody excellent, brutal metal album released in '92 on Def Records, an imprint of Peaceville. Just a fantastic band, and hardly anybody know about these guys. But listen to some tracks on YouTube. Try and get into them. They are absolutely fantastic. Produced by Eric Greif, who was the manager of Death, and I believe he works for Seasons of Mist and Attorney now. This is an original copy I managed to pick up for only £3. Original inner and black vinyl, but it's just fantastic. It's shades of Baphomet. It's very heavy. The vocalist is one of the best vocalists in the genre, my opinion. Definitely get it out. One of my favourite tracks is Flesh Parade, and Misery Hunt, the first one's brilliant as well. So Accidental Suicide, I can't say enough good things about them. Then Cannibal Corpse, Butchered at Birth. This is an original from '91 on Metal Blade. Now this was when Cannibal Corpse were at their height. They were at their best. A lot of people prefer Corpse Grinder Fisher to Chris Barnes. People like myself, people like Matt, DJ M Bass, who's here, my mate Matt. Alright Corp, how you getting on? We much prefer our death and black metal as raw and primitive as possible. Some of their output with Corpse Grinder, it's a little too technical for my taste, and I think I can say that for Matt as well. We're too fucking old to listen to too much going on at once. Our ears can't comprehend it. We like brutality, of course, but we like a little bit of structure as well. And these, the first four really, including the Bleeding and Tomb of the Mutilated, as well as Eaten Back to Life, are where it's at for Cannibal Corpse. This is an original edition, not a back on black, inner sleeve, regular black vinyl, pretty good condition, it's barely been played, a little bit of surface mark on it, but it plays very cleanly. Having said that about Corpse Grinder, their new stuff, I thought that the latest album, Evisceration Plague, was very good. I like the promo video for that as well. And what I've heard of Torture, their new album, which you can get actually on pre-order through emponline.co.uk for about £11–12. So there is a t-shirt offer as well for 19 with the album. It sounds really good, so that could be worth purchasing as well, I think. Okay, moving on. Deicide, Once Upon the Cross. This is a reissue of their third album, once again produced by Scott Burns. Pretty heavy, not as technical as Legion, not as immediate as their debut album, but a great album. One of in their top four. Their top four being Stench of Redemption, it has to be in there. It's a great record with great solos by Ralph Santola. This one, Legion, and their debut. Those four albums are all you need from Dearside. This is the reissue, inner sleeve with lyrics and standard black vinyl. Pretty good album. Quite a lot of Dearside's material recently has been a bit throwaway. It's been a bit filler. It hasn't been so good since the Hoffman boys left, in my opinion. Although Stench of Redemption was a great record, so maybe I'm talking out my heart, I don't know. But this is a welcome reissue because the original from '95 goes for quite a lot of money. And they've also reissued Serpents of the Light as well, which actually I've never heard, to be fair, on Dearside, so I need to pick that one up as well on reissue, because that does have a stunning cover as well, that one. But well worth picking up. Good album, this one. Great song, They Are the Children of the Underworld. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. A really rare album. This is an original '91 Road Racer copy of Immolation, Dawn of Possession, their debut. Their best album by a country mile. This is in great condition. Has all the original bits and bobs in a sleeve with lyrics on, and it's just evil. Ross Dolan has a very cruel sounding vocal. Musically it's very technical, but it's memorable technical. It's not necessarily the easiest stuff to play, but it sticks in your head, and that's the art of a good band. Alright, it's making it technical but also memorable. It's all very well going 100 miles an hour, and if you don't remember anything about it, why would you want to listen to it again? Bands like Immolation, early Cannibal Corpse, and the early brutal bands like Celtic Frost, Obituary, Death, they all had song structure. And this is what made these albums so good. And this is what makes these albums, why they're so valuable now. Because people want them, because this is where death and black metal was at. Okay, a lot of good bands nowadays, but these are the godfathers. Great album. A lot of people say, or put comments saying, do you own much Mortician? No, I don't. But I'd like to own more, and I'm gradually trying to pick some stuff up. This is a picture disc called Domain of Death. This is released on Morbid Records, licensed from Relapse. This is their Domain of Death album. Not one of their best. Their best, I would say, would be the Mortal Massacre 7-inch is excellent. Also, House by the Cemetery. And Zombie Apocalypse is a good one as well. They use a lot of samples from horror films. Sometimes they're a bit too long, Mortician, so you find that the sample is sometimes longer than the actual track. But in terms of vocal brutality, Will Raymer, who plays the bass as well, has probably the lowest growl you're ever going to get. I know the band tuned down to A and sometimes G, so it's bowel-looseningly low tuning. You know, most metal bands will tune down to E flat, D, C sharp, C, maybe B if you're playing 7-string, but G and A is incredibly low and incredibly heavy. So they're a good band. I say this isn't their best album, but I like to collect a bit of Mortician. When I see stuff, I try and pick it up. So a nice addition to my collection. I've got Harmony Corruption to show you. This is the limited edition album from the Death Metal Legends, or Grindcore Legends from Birmingham. This is the limited copy, which includes, it's a double vinyl. So it includes a live album recorded on 29th of June 1990 at the ICA in London, as well as the studio album produced by Scott Burns at Morrisound. It's a great condition copy, original inner sleeve with credits and folk lyrics. This is really where it's at with me for Napalm Death. I was a huge fan of Scum. I didn't mind From Enslavement to Obliteration as much. Scum I always found to be a little bit too punky for my tastes. I was never a huge punk fan, but this is where it's at. This, the Mass Appeal Madness 12-inch and Utopia Banished, in my opinion, is Napalm Death. I much prefer their death metal sounding stuff. And I know Barney Greenway was very influenced by Camley's work in Massacre, and it really shows on this album. It's very, there's a lot of Massacre, Celtic Frost sort of riffy stuff on this, and it's definitely worth picking up if you can. It's quite hard to find the limited copy, but I believe they issued it without the live album as well, which is a little easier to find. So that's a very cool record. I know this is one of Matt's favourite albums. This is a French band. I know Matt showed this on one of his very early videos. I think his first YouTube video. DJ M Bass showed this one. This is Enjoy the Violence by Massacre, released on Shark Records. Now, I found this in a local record shop in Frome for £8. It's in pretty good condition. There's a couple of tears on the back, but it plays absolutely fine. Original in a sleeve with lyrics, and it's just great. This is memorable death metal. A really good band, really good band. I was very impressed with this the first time I spun this. Songs that stick in your head, bloody brutal, and just fantastic songwriting as well as playing. Really hard to find. I think I was very fortunate picking this one up. I think somebody must have just dropped it or traded it in that morning. But why anyone would want to get rid of something as good as this, I don't know. I know they reissued it on CD, but I don't believe on vinyl. They released this as well as Final Holocaust, their first album. But this one is fantastic, and if you can find this, I urge you to check it out. It's just brilliant French death metal. Bit of Cradle of Filth now. This is a 2003 Cacophonous Records reissue of their debut. The Principle of Evil Made Flesh. Now sadly on the back it doesn't include the rear sleeve of the original vinyl, which was a picture of them all in corpse paint wearing the top hats and looking all oh so gothic and Bram Stoker. It includes that, which is shite really, but it's a good record. It's very moody, atmospheric black metal. It's not raw at all though. It's not very brutal. In fact, it's probably my favourite Cradle album. I'm not a huge fan of them, but it's not as good as I remembered it to be. I bought the original vinyl on a pretty much release date in '94, and that blew me away. Listening to it again now, it doesn't sound as good, in my opinion. Maybe that's something to do with the production, but it's lost a lot of its shock value, I think. I think when it came out it was like, oh bloody hell, what's this? I think it's because black metal, the sort of second wave of black metal had just started and people weren't quite as used to it. But nowadays this is pretty tame stuff, but it's still one of their best albums. So pick it up, have a listen to some tracks on YouTube, see what you think. It's a worthy addition to anyone's metal collection. A couple of releases I got also recently. It's Slaughter from Canada. They've done some reissues on Nuclear Blast. This is a reissue of their '91 demo, which includes a lovely insert sheet. That's the original demo cover, which they've jazzed up on the re-release with lyrics, bits and bobs like that, and really nice vinyl. I'll show you the vinyl. This is real death thrash. So play loud, Slaughter. So very similar sort of vinyl to the Nunslaughter 7-inch, which I'm going to show you very soon. Also, I got this is their Strapado album from 1986, which comes on black vinyl with the insert sheet playing their great BC Rich guitars. And this one's very good. It includes a rather nice poster of the album sleeve. There you go. So that's all there. It pretty much is proto death metal. This is pretty much where it all started. Now I know while the band were making the Strapado album, Chuck Schuldiner actually joined the band for a short period and was going to play on it, but he got very homesick and went back to Florida and then started Death, or restarted Death. But it's a very, very good listen, this. Vocally, it's not grunting and growling, it's quite raspy, it's almost quite possessed-y sort of vocals. Musically it's great, they do tune down this band, it's quite heavy sound, the drumming's good, musicianship's fine. Songs are quite simple, they're not overly technical. There's definitely a Venom and a Motorhead thing going on with this band, but it's a good listen. This is where it all started, guys. This is the sort of bands which really paved the way for Atheist, Morbid Angel, Dearside to make their name and make their mark on metal. So if you want to collect bands and listen to music which was sort of pioneering a different style, these are the sort of LPs you've got to try and get hold of. And you know, a lot of people say, well, just get the original pressings if you can. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. It's nothing like owning a first pressing album, but when reissues are done in such a good way, you know, reissues are there to make people listen to things they may have forgotten or overlooked. So I haven't got a problem recommending any of these reissues. They're fantastic, and definitely try and have a listen to them in your collection, guys. Okay, that is pretty much it from me today. I'm going to finish off my zombie survival can, and I'm going to go and blaze up the flamethrower and fry some zombie arseholes. So take care, see you all soon. I'll try not to get bit, and hopefully my postman will arrive with some more death metal vinyl very soon. I'm off to listen to a bit of Autopsy first though. Cheers guys, see you later.